Hey everyone, Kemuel with another StarCraft 2 replay. Today we got a pretty good matchup. We have the blue Protoss player Insignia here on the left side of your screen, and on the right side we have the red Zerg player BeLikeWater. This video is something I really wanted to highlight for players that are struggling with Protoss against Zerg, to maybe stop a natural, to keep the pressure on the Zerg player, let the Zerg player play defense instead of the Protoss player playing defense. So it'll be a little quick demonstration of here's a couple things you can do to really help yourself out and keep the match in your grasp instead of letting the other player dictate the match. So what we're going to see here is a 9 pylon from Insignia. It's going to get his gateway up first, always something good to do. And then what we're going to see here is BeLikeWater is going to go for his probably, what is that, about a 15 pool right now. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes now, takes his next drone, moves it down here and gets his natural, is what he's going to do. So then what we see here is a quick little counter and pretty good thinking on your feet by Insignia here, is what he's going to try to do is he's going to come down here, he's going to do a sneaky little proxy pylon, put it right here, which is really smart. And what he's going to do is he's going to drop a couple photon cannons right here, because look at his base here. It's fourth thing being built. So he has his pylon, he's got his gateway, and then right here he's building his forge, which is really unique to see, especially in this map. Some Protoss players, what they like to do, and what I like to do as well, is drop a pylon right here, put your forge right here, and then you can keep your gateways up here and even drop a couple photon cannons here, and you can really start to seal this off and go for an early naturalist Protoss. I've done that a few times, it's been very successful. But what we like to see here is Insignia try a little something different. So he's going to pump out that quick zealot. He's going to get it heading towards this direction. And he still has this probe. He went into his base to see if he has a spawning pool. He's just now got the spawning pool going down. It's not even complete yet. He's already got one zealot on the way. And what he does here is he's still got some extra minerals. He drops 2 photon cannons. And he's easily in the range to hit this hatchery here. So now, BeLikeWater is now going to be on his defense right from the beginning of the game. We're barely 4 minutes into the game here. He's got 1 zealot in his natural and 2 photon cannons coming right up. And again, the spawning pool is just complete. He's building 2 zerglings. It will be 4 total, but that's not going to be enough to really stop anything. As is now, he's got the 2 photons cannon up, 1 zealot just hammering away at this hatchery here. And it's going to put BeLikeWater in a big time hole, and there's really nothing he can do. Obviously he knows that those 4 zerglings will do nothing, as now he has an additional zealot in this base, and there's no reason to waste those 4 because he's got to start building up the defense. And this is what kind of worried me about this replay when I was watching it, is I really would have liked to see Insignia try to maybe pull these down. Not necessarily would have happened, but I would have liked to see maybe he can pull them down into the photon cannon fire. And what he does here is some terrible micro by Insignia right here. He gets caught by these 4 zerglings, loses 1 zergling, but it doesn't matter because 1 zergling taking out, or 4 zergling taking out 1 zealot will be an even exchange every time. And so again, he's still pumping out these zealots. I would have really liked to get this the research warp gate and start warping in some zealots, as he's clearly got enough defense with that photon cannon. Warp in a few zealots and push in this base. I mean, look, he's barely got anything here. He's trying to pump out more units. He might be able to take out this army. You never know how BeLikeWater would have played, but instead he decides to play defense. He pulls up his base, or his little quick offensive expansion here, and he takes his 2 zealots and just starts spreading the map with them to find the BeLikeWater, see if he's got any sneaky expansions. But he doesn't. I think that was a huge mistake by Insignia there. But I mean, as we'll see towards the end of the replay, maybe it wasn't such a bad mistake. But either way, let's continue to watch here. So now he's going to put up his Stargate. That can really only mean one thing. He's going to get a couple Void Rays out, and he's going to try to do a harass. As obviously we can see in his base, he's got nothing to stop air. He's got a queen, but big whoop. 1 Void Ray will easily own that queen. And he's only got a spawning pool up. He's not going, he doesn't even have a roach warren in case he was to go more offensive on the ground units. It looks like he might try to get some roaches, or pardon me, some hydralisks. But at this point we really don't know. BeLikeWater is so far behind with that drop of the natural so quickly that it's kind of put him shaken up, as you can see, as he really doesn't have much going on. He's microing back his units here to his zerglings to take the middle of the map, which is very, very smart, especially on Lost Temple. If you can control this middle Zelnaga watchtower, you can pretty much see anything that's coming as it covers this entire front part right here. As we'll be able to see, you can see anything heading towards your base. Very, very smart to control that Zelnaga watchtower, especially on Lost Temple. So again, it looks like he's just pumping out more zealots just to keep defense in his base. And so what we see here is obviously BeLikeWater knows he's got no natural expansion. So his quick offensive expansion is now pretty much vulnerable to be taken out. And so now what we have here is another gateway. So we have 3 gateways now, and now this Stargate is starting to pump out the Void Rays. Those can do some massive damage. As let's take a look at his base. He really doesn't have a lot coming up. He does have a Hydralisk Den coming up. Finally, he's got some Hydras. But it will be in time to stop this Void Ray if he can get it. It'll be interesting to see if he can. He does have his Queen here. I'd like to see him put up another hatchery. He needs to start pumping out more units. He's being spawn larva capped because there's only so much you can put out with only 1 Queen and only 1 lair. And so as we did see there, he's just going to put up another hatchery. Very smart play there. So we got this Void Ray coming in. It's going to do some serious damage unless he can get these up. And he does have all these Hydralisks. Looks like he has 7 Hydralisks coming up here. That's going to be easily to stop this Void Ray. This Void Ray comes in here. He's probably going to get this Overlord. I'd like to see him take out some more Overlords, as it would put BeLikeWater in the red. Always like when I'm playing a Zerg player, if I can get a chance to kill some easy Overlords, I always take that chance because it's big time for Zerg to use one of the spawn larvae as an Overlord instead of an attacking unit. So easily those Hydras take out those Void Rays. They're such a big counter to the Void Rays. And so now he's got to pump out a couple Overlords as he's already in the red on supply. A nice little battle here, and he uses that force field as some nice offense. A lot of times people that use sentries like to use them for kind of blocking or walling off stuff, but you can easily use them for offense to seal in the enemy, as he didn't lose any units, and he lost half of the Zerglings that he currently has built. And again, big time here, folks. Anytime you're playing Zerg, if you're not using that creep tumor, you're not worth your salt to me, in my opinion. That creep tumor is so easy, costs very little energy from a queen, and you can cover the map. Big time Zerg players like Damaga, Artosis, Hydra, I've watched a ton of replays, and they can use a creep to cover almost the entire map. So as a Zerg player, again, use that creep so to your advantage. So cheap, so easy, and so quick. So it looks like Insignia's got a pretty good sized army going here. He's got 1 Phoenix. Definitely, I love the beam ability that they can lift it up, shoot it, and kill things very quickly. Especially against Zerg, when you can lift up this queen really quickly, kill it, and just bail out of there. So he's just doing a little exploring himself to see if BeLikeWater has anything going, but at this point he doesn't. I would almost like to see BeLikeWater take his army, destroy this pylon, which easily shut down these 2 photon cannons, and get his natural back. He needs to get another hatchery up to start pumping out the units. And as we see here, it's easy for Insignia to just come up and take this natural, as he really hasn't been pressured all game. He's doing exactly what the Protoss wants to do. He's in control of the game right now. It's on BeLikeWater to try to change the tempo of the game, but at this point he is not able to. So again, he's got a Void Ray up, 1 Phoenix up, and looks like he's got another gateway being built, robotics facility, couple sentries, and each person's kind of doing their own thing. He's got an evolution chamber coming up for BeLikeWater, a bunch of Zerglings, building 20 Zerglings. And here comes the Phoenix and the Void Rays. Both going to bail, but the 2 Queens is enough basically at this point to hold off the base as he takes his main army down, destroys the pylon and the 2